Make sure you grab different color spray paints, different size thread edges, and everyday household items like cups or lids. My name is Arturo Lopez, and I created Spraycasso Studios back in 1999. I have then continued to show people diverse ways of creating master paintings in just a few minutes using nothing more than just spray paints and everyday household items. The beauty of this art is that you don't have to have a steady hand or know how to draw. All it requires is a little bit of imagination and some dedication. So join us, and you too can become a Spraycasso master. I will walk you through diverse techniques of creating beginner level paintings, intermediate level paintings and techniques, advanced level paintings, and we'll take your skills even further to master level paintings. So if you guys are ready to embark into a new art adventure, then grab your spray paints and materials. Let's get started. This is a beginner level tutorial of a butterfly stencil created by yours truly. I hope you enjoy. Hi everyone, Arturo Spraycasso here. So today we have a pretty unique show to do. This is something we've kind of tapped on in the past in some of the past tutorials, but today we're going to go into a little bit more detail. We've got a lot of new cool ideas to share with you guys. Oh, and got a new sponsor, right? So it's one of the benefits about getting sponsors. Always ask for a shirt, cap, spray paint mask. I'm just kidding. But seriously, I would like to thank our sponsors at this time, Mosaic Corporation. They do a lot of great things for our community here in Carlsbad. So getting back on the tutorial, I think you guys are going to enjoy today's tutorial. So I'm going to hit you up with some new ideas and new canvases. And what do you guys say we get started, huh? Alright, so if you guys are ready, grab your spray paints, your masks. Let's begin. Alright guys, for today's tutorial we're going to be using stencils, but not just any stencils. These stencils are made specifically for us, the spray painters. Look at that, nice thick metal, right? They ain't gonna fly away. They'll hold your painting down. They won't tear. So nice, solid, sturdy. These are prototypes, but I was given the prototypes to experiment with. You're going to be able to get these stencils from the website, as well as some custom-made stencils. So, as I said, guys, these are the first batch. We have partnered up with Red Stencils, and it's this great company here in town that produce a lot of these stencils. And so when they found out about Spraycasso and what we do, I've gotten a lot of emails from a lot of wonderful emails, by the way, from a lot of people that wants to know how I make my stencils, if I can make my stencils and then put them online, or if I can just cut out the stencils myself and then sell them. You know, well, it's a lot of work, guys. It really is. So now we're going to be able to create some custom stencils as well. And as we proceed in the show, we're going to be doing that. We're going to create human faces, perhaps even pets. Yeah, loved pets, of course. We all have them, right? If you guys didn't know, I have a little Chihuahua. He's my little warrior dog. His name is Pancho, ferocious little thing. He's half Chihuahua, half werewolf, quarter Wolverine. Yeah, I wouldn't mess with him. Anyways, we'll probably do a stencil of him. Sky is the limit, and we can definitely do multi-layer stencils. So I'm going to take advantage of that, and let's begin with this. Now, this is just the back of a painting. The glossy side is on the other side. So let's get started, huh? All right. I love that. Isn't that just so nice? It won't bend. It won't break. I don't know how many times I've had stencils that I stick them up. Put them up wherever my little bag here full of spray paints, and forget it. You know, the cardboard gets torn, the poster board gets torn. Not anymore. All right, let's begin. All right, so first things first. This is the back of the poster board. I do have a stencil I usually put in the back, but it broke. Go figure, right? I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a new one here pretty soon that won't break or tear. But anyways, I would spray Spraycasso Studios here in the back. Turn it over. Alright. So, with stencils, it really depends what you're gonna do. You can create silhouettes out of stencils, right? Which you would just spray paint some black, put the stencil on top, and then begin adding some colors. But I want to concentrate about the details that you can add with a stencil. So it doesn't necessarily just have to be a black silhouette. So let's start, huh? Oh, another question I'd like to tackle, guys, because I get this every day, probably about once an hour, every other minute. Guys, color place, Walmart. That's the paint I recommend. I don't care what the other guys say, or this is the paints I really recommend. They're not very thick, but yet they're not very watery either. They're a little thinner than Orlac or than Rust-Oleum. I like that because I'm able to create better water effects. And you'll see that I'll switch once, I don't know, once in a blue moon I'll switch to Rust-Oleum or Orlac. But for the most, I stick with Color Place. Color Place, guys. Blue label, Walmart. Alright, let's begin, huh? So, I'm just going to get the outline of the butterfly. Look at that. So, the best thing about outlining your stencils is that you know exactly where your stencil is going to go and how you're going to create your butterfly. So, you get a pretty good idea of what it's going to look like before you're done, right? So if we're going to create this butterfly, I say if, and here I am creating it, right? Just going to add some blue. Doesn't have to go into great detail. Of course you can. In this case we will, but add a little bit of black. See what I mean? You get the gesture of how this butterfly is going to look. Look at that. Get it? Alright, let me go grab the spraycasso tool here. Okay, now add a little bit of clear coat to keep the painting nice and manipulable. Of course, my tools. I know I've gotten a lot of good comments about people that have gotten my tools, and you know, it's just like if you think about it, brushes. Somebody that was an artist had to come up with the concept of the brush. Well, spraycasso tool came from about the tools that we had to use at the time. Most of you that didn't know, I am, I guess you would say, second generation of spray paint artist, right? First generation started back in the early 80s. I was lucky enough to learn from one of these original creators, and many years later, yours truly, here I am. I would have never thought I'd be teaching you guys how to create these great masterpieces in just a few minutes, but you know what, I think that's the beauty of spray paint. I think we can all relate to that, of how fun it is. I know there's a lot of sprayer haters out there. You know what, guys, don't let them bug you. They sure as hell don't bug me, so don't let it bug you. I get a lot of wonderful emails from you guys telling me, spraycasso, they're talking crap about you though. Guys, don't even bother. I do this for fun. I'm definitely not going to let anybody take that away from me, so if you guys don't fall into that. Anyways, I've heard a lot of good comments about people and using the spraycasso tools. Good. Well, you know, we used to use razor blades and to be able to manipulate the paint that way. Well, as you know, I've gotten cut a couple of times. So, dull. You don't have to worry about poking your eye, or maybe poking your eye, but definitely you're not going to bleed, cut a finger or something. So, and as you guys can tell, there's no secret science to the spraycasso tool. You guys can make this your own. I know I've heard a lot of sprayer haters out there. You're after the dollar. Guys, come on now. Get a popsicle stick, cut it at a 45-degree angle. You don't have to buy my tool. But do make it. You'll see that it's worth it. You're able to create a lot of awesome little effects. I have some tutorials out there where we create an eagle and an eyeball, and it helps you manipulate the paint. Okay, now you guys see what I'm doing there? I'm just creating the little veins. You can go into further detail and, you know, just, there we go, something like that. Have fun with it, guys. Experiment. Now, I know I always recommend you guys wear your masks. Right now I'm outside. You probably hear the birds. Sounds like a jungle, doesn't it? Well, I'm outside, so I really don't have to worry too much about breathing in the stuff. Okay, now I'm no butterfly expert, so I think most of you aren't either, so we'll just have fun making a butterfly, huh? Anyways, the spraycasso funnel, guys, that's another tool. Nifty. We'll probably use that on the next stencil. Give you guys some more ideas to how you can manipulate the spray paints so that you can get better effects, so that you can get the effect that you're looking for. I'm just gonna add a little bit of black, just like that right there, something like that. Oh, that's gonna look cool. I already tell you I like it. Alright, well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait just a little bit. I don't want to be able to put this heavy stencil on top of it, just bam, and then remove it and all the paint's on here. So we're gonna wait until it's dry to the touch. Well, it's dry to the touch right here, but not in these areas. So let's wait just a little bit. We'll come back. What we can do is we can put this stencil aside actually and work on another one. Huh? Alright folks, so we're back. As you can tell, right? It's dry to the touch. So let's see, what stencil was it? It was this one, wasn't it? No. It was this one. That's right, it was this one. Okay. So, you know what? What else you guys can do? This is going to be pretty nifty. Get some duct tape. I'm a big fan of duct tape. Now, another thing, guys. If getting paint on your hands bugs you, wear some gloves. I wore some gloves on the last two tutorials. I do have it, but you know what? It doesn't bug me that much. Now, so that you guys know, another fan did bring it up. Yes, your skin does absorb some of that paint. So, you know, if that's going to bug you, wear your gloves. I recommend you wear gloves. Do as I say and not as I do, right? So, look at that. So you get it? You're able to place it down, remove it. You don't have to worry about putting your fingers underneath. Duct tape fixes everything. Relationship problems? Duct tape. Believe me. That's probably why I don't have a girlfriend, huh? Alright. So, we're going to put our butterfly right on top of that. Just like that. Now, it's up to you guys what kind of background you want. You can make it all black, which I would not recommend. I believe I am going to do a little bit of, oh, I don't know. Let's go back to the basics. So we're going to create some plant life in the background. Make sure you spray off your cans before you use them. Now, I've had some comments as well about, oh, spraycasso, you're not as fast as you used to be. Guys, I'm recording, you know, what's the big hurry? I mean, if I was recording live, sure. I'd be a little bit faster. I'd have to, wouldn't I? especially when each painting you're making makes you money, right? Time is money. But I don't have to go very fast, and I think you guys will appreciate more what I'm doing if I'm just talking really slow and walking you guys through it. Alright, I'm going to use a little bit of, I just used some green. I'm going to use a little bit of orange. Very little. Now, neutral colors, guys. Neutral colors, black and white. And I will use these a lot. So, I am going to add, I would recommend if you can only have 3 colors on top of each other before you put a neutral. And the neutral being black or white. So, I wouldn't recommend you do any more than that. You may not like the effects you get. You know what? Another good thing about having these metal stencils, not only will your painting's not going to fly anywhere, you don't have to worry about paint going underneath. Right? So, we're just going to cover this in white. And because this is a neutral color, we can add 3 colors on top of this. Very light. I'm not saying, pile them on there. And they won't mix with the colors underneath. Alright? So we're just going to add a little bit of blue. Just going to give it a blue tint. And with the spraycasso tool, dun, 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 yes, made by a spray painter for the spray painter. So we're going to just come over here very gently, make some of those paints underneath. Alright, so we're just going to come over here. Okay. Come out. And see, we're just mixing those colors. I like the way this is coming out. You see how those colors are? Look at that. Just makes so much life to the plant, and it's very colorful. Okay, so we're just going to follow this pattern. It comes out to here. Just like that. And you can make thicker leaves. Look at that. And if it starts to dry on you, because I am being a little slow, a little bit of clear coat. Problem solved. There's an old saying in Mexico. It says, I am going slow because I am in a hurry. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. It makes a lot of sense to me. Take my time. And it look good. That. Alright, so we're just going to add a little bit more. Come out through here. We'll come out somewhere over here. Okay, a bit more clear coat. You know, another good thing about clear coat is it will protect your paint. Yep. Make it nice and glossy. That's a protective color. Okay, so we're going to do the same up top. Just going to come over here and do something like this. Just get those paints to come out, those colors. So I've been asked a lot, quite a lot, if I went to school for this. No, I have not. I get this asked a lot, guys. No, I actually went for engineering. That's what I went for. And I designed stuff. Machines and all sorts of other cool stuff, and decided that, you know what? I'm an artist. Don't be afraid to pursue your dreams. I definitely encourage everybody out there. My dad was an engineer. His dad was an engineer, so you know what, guys? I had to be an engineer. Not so. Not so at all. So definitely pursue your dreams. Don't let anybody else tell you can't make it. Alright. Don't let negativity get in the way, guys. Look at that. I like the way that came out. I've seen a lot of new spray painters out there. and I'm definitely proud of you guys. There's a lot of cool paintings coming out and new ideas, and you know what, that's the beauty about having this spray paint community, is that everybody's sharing ideas, being unique. It's awesome. I love it. I know my website was down for a little bit, guys. You know, life happened, some stuff got in the way. I had to put that project aside, take care of some other stuff, but Spraycasso website is back up, or it will be this weekend. So I definitely want to see you guys there. Please post your art. You know, we have a section where you guys can post your art. That's if you want me to see what you guys are doing. A lot of times I'll get fans that want my opinion. Some want my opinion, and then when I give it, they get mad at me. Yeah, that's fine too. Alright, so far we've created a pretty cool... Now the only reason I went over the butterfly, you know, I guess I could have done something like this, is because I want you guys to kind of see through the butterfly, through the stencil. Don't start a stem here and then, you know, end up over here, because people are going to be like, wait, did the stem just do something like that? So, you know, kind of try and follow it. If you want to add more detail to that, something like that. You know what, that's another good idea, and I'm going to make more tutorials about that, on how to manipulate the paint to create realistic looking leaves using the Spraycasso tool. That angle, as you twist it, creates some pretty cool looking leaves, amongst other stuff. Alright, you know what, don't forget to sign your painting. I'm going to sign it over here. I know, I usually sign it on this side, but we're being different today's tutorial. Spraycasso. What are we in? 2011? One more year. We're all gonna die anyways, right? No, guys, don't believe that. All right, here we go. Let's just remove our stencil. Let's remove our tape first. Stupid tape. All right, then we remove our stencil. Voila! This was a very simple tutorial, guys. You guys can definitely add more details to the butterfly. You can definitely, you know, spend more time on the veins, on patterns that you want to create on there. Go to my website. When the website's up, guys, you're going to see there's going to be a whole section dedicated to nothing but stencils. And there's going to be customizable stencils, so you guys can send your ideas, send your pictures in. And we have a team of guys there that we're collaborating with that are going to sit there and make sure they build you a stencil at a pretty affordable price. Then you guys are going to be able to create your own brand names. So you could say, I don't know, I don't want to start bringing people's names up or anything. We'll just say Spraycasso, right? So design a little can with the spray paint coming out, and then Spraycasso Studios here on the side. And so whenever you're going to do a painting, you put your stencil in the back, spray paint your name on it, and there. Your own brand. And you don't have to worry about it breaking. That was the biggest concern I had, guys. All my stencils were tearing, and I had to redo them every so often. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's tutorial. We're going to get into more detailed stencils coming up. In fact, you know what? I'm having too much fun. Let's not end it yet. We're going to get another piece of poster board here. I'm going to flip this over. Alright, put the spray can there. Don't get me wrong, guys. I used to use Krylon very little bit. Krylon has changed their formula a bit, so I have a hard time manipulating that paint once in a while. So I really recommend this one, guys. I know after this tutorial somebody's gonna ask me about it. Go postal on YouTube. Alright, what do you guys say? Another good thing about these stencils is that you don't have to just buy them as a stencil. No. You can buy them as canvases. So you can create a nice little scenery here, or you could paint it like we painted the stencil over there. I mean the painting, right? Make this look like this, and then sell it. You could add just a little something here on the side so that people can hang it on their walls. I actually, a very good friend of mine, Tom Sprayer, his name is Tom Priest. He's got spraypaintcreations.com. If you haven't seen any of his work, you should go check it out. He's really good. And what he does is he gets saw blades, these really huge, round saw blades, and he paints on them. You know, he makes his little spray paintings, his sceneries, his space, and all sorts of cool stuff on them. And then he sells them for about, I don't know, I think it was $60, $70, and it's really a neat idea because, you know, you can offer something to your customers that is not out there. You know, that you can definitely customize. You can get a wolf and paint it. So, anyways, we're gonna do something like that with this one. Alright guys, what we're doing here is we're going to add a coat of white. Yep, neutral color. You can use black if you'd like. But as you can tell, you can add, if you add other colors underneath, you're still going to be able to see them. Alright, so what you're going to want to do is you just add a thin layer of white on your stencil and then wait for that to dry. It won't take very long, right? Especially if you're outside like I am. A little bit of white, wait for it to dry, and then you start putting your paintings on top. Something similar where we did this was the skateboard tutorial. I've had a lot of questions and a lot of comments on the tutorial that that skateboard is sold, it's gone, it's in Canada, I believe. And I've actually had quite a few questions about why did I use a fake skateboard. I don't know what that means, guys. It had wheels, it had a board on top. It seemed pretty real to me, but I'm not a skateboard artist, right? My kung fu is right here with the can. Not skateboarding, so if you guys have some ideas as to maybe using a real skateboard, you can definitely let me know where I can get one, or send me one and I'll paint it for you. Please don't send me too many. Just I'm only gonna do one on a tutorial. So, anyways, look at that. See how fast? Dried really quick. Okay, let's do this again. Just gonna add a little bit of red here on top. Look at that. And perhaps we're gonna add a little bit of blue. We're just gonna blend that into the red. Let's see. Yeah, you leave it up to spray to forget the yellow. Okay. Actually, we're in luck. I found some yellow. Yes. A little bit of yellow here. Never fails, guys. Bugs always land on your wet paintings if you're outside. Or actually, I have a neighbor, and it seems like he just waits for me to come out and start spray painting, and he starts his lawnmower. It'll be 12 midnight. He'll be out there with his lawnmower. Alright. We can add just a little bit of a terrain here. A little bit of black. Fade that into a gray. Oh, I like that already. And if you can ever find your spraycasso funnel, right here would be a great time to be able to use it. But if you can't, remember guys, there is absolutely no big mystery about how the spraycasso funnel is made. Do I have some pre-made? Yes, which is, you know, they're made out of plastic and they're really nifty, and I happen to have none right now. But if you want to make your own, which of course you can always make your own, I'll show you once again. This is just a piece of poster board that I'm not going to use. Create the point. Now, what I like about these cardboard spraycasso funnels is that duct tape tastes good. Is that you can adjust the end tip to regulate flow, how much paint you want to come out. But you can do that in the plastic ones too. They have this little nifty finger place, but it's where it all originated from, right? The back end, well, you can modify that somehow. You cut it, or you can fold it, which is what I'm going to do. Okay, so we're just going to fold the spraycasso funnel. Use a little bit of duct tape. It doesn't take very much. Alright, you should get something that looks like this. Anyways, so much for duct tape, huh? Alright, well anyway, I love duct tape, guys. I use it for everything. I won't lose this bad boy. This is like a family size. You can get this at Sam's. Anyways, alright, so just gonna spray a little bit of black here. Not too much. And I'm gonna create me some yuccas or trees. Yuccas, I like yuccas. Right, so maybe I used too much duct tape. No, it's taking forever to travel from point A to point B. So you might want to start off with the smaller one, guys. This is like the Texas size one. Alright, here we go. Oh, come on now. I'd say everything's bigger in Texas, right? So, alright. Okay, so we use a little bit more here, come out through here. I have to use half a can to be able to get. Alright, here we go. Okay, we're just going to add a few more strands. There we go. Alright, just like that. They're everywhere down here in Carlsbad. You can see them throughout the Chihuahuan Desert. Beautiful plants. And use a little bit of that sea sponge. Very little. Doesn't require a lot. Or sock. Or chones. Whatever you want to use. I recommend the sea sponge. Get a lot of people asking me what I recommend. When I tell them, well, you know, this is what I would do. Some people get mad at me. Which is funny. You know, I find that pretty funny, actually. Alright, here we go. They have seeds. That's what those are. So we're just gonna add the seeds there on the top. They look something like that. If you've never seen one, you could Google it. Beautiful plants. They look great on the sunset. They are a little weird looking if you're not used to seeing them. I was surprised to hear that we have a lot of tumbleweeds here in Carlsbad. I don't know if you guys know this, but tumbleweeds sell for quite a bit of money up north. We're talking like New York, right? Guys, I'm talking like in the thousands. People paint these. Forget it, they make a killing. And it's funny to me because, you know, we get to see the tumbleweeds and these plants down here just every day. It's no big deal. You know, just another yucca. Whenever we get tourists, oh man, they flip out, you know, oh hey, it's a yucca. Another thing about New Mexico is I used to compete in New York quite a bit before my spray painting days. I used to compete with pastels and acrylics and watercolors, and I've always been an artist, guys. And so we got to go up there one day for a tournament. And we brought the trophy back to Carlsbad. We were pretty proud, you know. New York's a pretty big name. Alright, we're just going to add a little bit of black here. Look at that. Just fade that in. And we told the people that we were from New Mexico, and they told us that they didn't allow international competitors. So a lot of people still think we're part of Mexico. It's New Mexico, you know, as opposed to the old Mexico. Alright, now a little bit of clear coat here on the bottom. Or you know what, I have this cool little pen that I love. And I can't find, so we'll just, with the tip end, right here, sharp end, spraycasso, 2007 or 2011, right? Alright guys, now imagine you can hang this up in your room somewhere. It's very simple, right? I like the way this fades from black to light gray to a little bit of white here. You can see some of the silhouettes from the plants in the background. You guys saw me do that with the grass technique using the sea sponge. Just up and down, up and down. Bunch of little sticks for the yuccas. Now the yuccas do have a bunch of little thorns that stick out. You could add those, but we'll let the imagination say that the thorns are down here somewhere. Alright guys, well, think about it. Until next time folks, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's tutorial. I'm going to flip this so you guys can see it better. Alright, till next time folks, keep those cans shaking. Drop me an email or see me on Facebook.